petiole actually is very important because it helps the entire lamina to hold itself to the leaf base. For that, petiole is very important. Venation is nothing but the arrangement of veins in the leaves is called as venation. Now there are two types of venation, parallel venation and reticulate venation. There will be a common point in the petiole from which the leaves will be attached like this. So therefore it is palmately compound leaves. Hello everyone, a warm welcome to the session on class 11th Biology for CBSE. I am Dr. Divya, Biology faculty, Vidhyaashram School of Excellence, Mysuru. So in this session, let us learn about the topic leaf under chapter 5, that is Morphology of Flowering Plants. So let's learn the structure of the leaf, the arrangement of leaves and all that, and then move into learning some of the MCQs that can be framed under this particular topic. So talking about the leaf, so we had learnt in the previous session wherein we studied the below ground part of the plant, that is the root, and the above ground part, that is the stem. And I told you in the stem, that is in the nodal region, the leaf arises. So let's study about it in detail. So leaf, how does it look? It is generally a flattened structure which is completely flat both at the dorsal side and the ventral side. Therefore, it is a flattened structure and leaves are usually borne on the stem, especially at the nodal region of the stem, and also wherever a bud arises in the nodal region, there also the leaves can arise. And this axillary bud that is there, it later develops into a branch. So, from the nodal region, the leaf can also arise, the flower buds can also arise, and also the branches can also arise. Now, these regions are called as the axillary bud region because they are present between an axis. They are present here, that is here in an axis. So, that is a reason, and there lots of actively dividing meristematic cells will be there which will develop into the leaves, the flowers and the branches as well. And the leaves usually originate from the apical, shoot apical meristem, which is called as SAM. Shoot apical meristem, that is at the tip of the shoot or at the tip of the axis, wherever there is the nodes there, at the tip of the nodes there, the leaf usually arises. And as I told you, those meristematic cells which are present in the shoot are called as the shoot apical meristem, and it is from the shoot apical meristem the leaves arises, and there only actively dividing meristematic cells will be there. And leaves are one of the most important vegetative part of the plant because they are the ones which contain cells having lots of parenchyma in them, that is the chlorenchyma cells. They have lots of chlorenchyma cells inside which chloroplast are there, and that chloroplast helps in photosynthesizing, and that is one of the main function of the leaf which helps the plant to synthesize food using the sun's energy. Therefore, they are the most important vegetative organs for photosynthesis. Next, talking about the parts of a leaf. So, the parts of the leaf is divided into three. The leaf is actually divided into three parts, which is the leaf base, the petiole and the lamina. So, leaf base, the region from where the leaf arises, that region or the node on the stem from which the leaf arises, exactly where the petiole connects, that is called as the leaf base. So, say for example, here the stem is there. This will form the leaf base. So, it has the leaf base, then it has the petiole. This is the stipule. So, this is the stipule, it has the petiole, it has the stipule, then the entire leaf, it is called as the lamina. It has the lamina. So, talking about the leaf base. So, leaf base, a leaf is attached to the stem. So, the region where the leaf is attached to the stem, it is called as the leaf base. Next, talking about the petiole. So, at the lateral region of the stem, you can see right from the stipules, right from the base of the petiole, you can see two leaf-like structures, reduced leaf-like structures, which are also green in color arising, and they are called as the stipules. Next, talking about the pulvinus. So, pulvinus. So some of the leaves, that is the dicot leaves, you can find the leaf bases which are swollen. So at the base of the leaf, there will be a swelling like this. So if this is the stem, their leaf base, there will be a swelling and then the petiole will arise. So this swelling we can call it as the pulvinus. It is called as pulvinus. Not all. Usually leguminous plants will have pulvinus. That is their tip of the petiole or the base of their leaf will be swollen. It is called as pulvinus. And next part is the petiole. So this portion is called as the petiole. So petiole is long and slender, and this petiole actually is very important because it helps the entire lamina to hold itself to the leaf base. For that, petiole is very, very important. And apart from that, petiole is also important so that the petiole is long and slender. It will allow the leaf to sway in the air or move in the air like this, therefore taking in fresh air into the leaf so that the leaves will get necessary carbon dioxide and can release the oxygen. So taking in fresh air also, the petiole will help. So it allows the leaf blade to flutter, or it allows the lamina to flutter in the wind, therefore cooling the leaf surface and also bringing in fresh air to the leaf surface. That is why they say in front of a house we need to have a garden wherein there are plants having long petioles and lengthy leaves, or large leaves, or large lamina, or large leaf blade. So this can also be called as the leaf blade. Next is the lamina or the leaf blade. So the entire expanded green part of the leaf is called as the lamina and the leaf blade, and it is in this lamina we can find veination, that is the midrib, which is the most prominent vein, and from the midrib lot of veins and veinlets will develop. So that is about the lamina or the leaf blade. And lamina is one of the important part of the leaf because it acts as a channel. That is, it is a storage region for the leaf, and also the midrib and the veins, they act as channels for transporting food, minerals and waters to different parts of the leaf. So that is their function. Next is the midrib, as I told you. Midrib is the most prominent vein. So the center one, which is the most prominent one, this entire vein is called as the midrib, and the midrib actually is very, very important because it holds the lamina, or it gives strength to the fragile lamina or the leaf blade. So that is about the midrib. Next, talking about veination. Now we know about the midrib, we know the parts of the leaf, we know about the veins and all that. What is veination? Veination is nothing but the arrangement of veins in the leaves is called as veination. Now there are two types of veination, parallel veination and reticulate veination. Parallel veination are always seen in monocot leaves, that is the grasses, wheat, rice and all that. Reticulate veination is seen in dicots, that is the beans, sunflower, all that comes under dicot. So reticulate, the veinlets form a network. If you can see here, there is the most prominent vein, that is the midrib. So from the midrib, actually veins will arise, and from these veins, lots of veinlets will arise. So therefore, it will lead to a network of arrangement of veins. And such network of arrangement of veins is called as reticulate veination. And this reticulate veination is one of the most characteristic for you to distinguish between a dicot and monocot, because reticulate veination is seen only in dicotyledonous plants. Next, talking about parallel veination. So here the veins run parallelly, that is, they will not have midrib and all that. Entire veins will start to run parallel to one another in the leaf. That is called as parallel veination. And the parallel veination is seen in monocotyledonous plants, that is sugarcane, in grasses, bamboos and all that, rice, wheat, all that you can find this parallel veination. So this is about the veination. Next, talking about the different types of leaves. There are two types of leaves, simple leaves and compound leaves. So simple leaves means the lamina is entire. If you can see here, entire lamina is there. Lamina is entire and there is no incisions. Even though if incisions are there, can you see there here incisions at the end? They will not touch the, or I can draw one more with incision. Say for example, it will have incisions like this. Now this is also an entire leaf. Why? Because these incisions, these are called as the incisions. The grooves that you can see are called as the incisions. So these incisions will not touch the midrib, or it will not touch the midrib. If it had touched the midrib like this, they would form a leaflet. So that is the difference. So therefore, some leaves can have incisions. If they don't touch the midrib, it is also an entire leaf or a simple leaf. Next, talking about compound leaf. Here the compound leaves, we can see the incisions of the lamina, they reach up to the midrib. So we have the entire midrib here, which is called as the rachis. It's called the rachis, and here all the leaves, they will touch the midrib. So that kind of arrangement is called as compound leaves. Next, in compound leaf, there are two types of compound leaves, that is pinnately compound and palmately compound. In pinnately compound, a number of leaflets, all these are called as the leaflets. So a number of leaflets will develop on the main rachis. So that is compound leaf. Next, in pinnately compound leaves. In palmately compound leaves, we have the petiole. All the leaves will start from a single point on the petiole. So all the leaflets. So these are the leaflets. They start from the tip of the petiole. Tip of petiole, and it looks like just like fingers on a palm, right? So that is why it is called as palmately compound leaves. So palmately compound leaves are commonly seen in silk, cotton, and pinnately compound leaves are commonly seen in neem plants. Next, talking about phyllotaxy. What is phyllotaxy? Phyllotaxy is nothing but the arrangement of leaves. How the leaves are arranged on a plant. Based on that, the leaves are of different types, that is alternate arrangement or alternate phyllotaxy, opposite phyllotaxy or whorled phyllotaxy. Alternate. Here you can see the petiole, one is here and the other one here. Here, here. This is alternate. So it will be like this. One leaf, if it is here, the other one will be here, the other one here, here. So a single leaf arises on either side of this midrib or either side of the rachis or the stem in an alternate manner. So that is called as alternate leaf arrangement. So they come in an alternate manner. Opposite means exactly opposite to each other. You can see here they're exact opposites. So it is, if one leaf is here, the other one will be here, one here, the other one here. This is opposite leaf arrangement or opposite phyllotaxy. Next, whorled phyllotaxy, more than two leaves arise at a node. So this is the nodal region, because we know that nodes, it is from the nodes that the leaves usually arises. So there are more than two leaves that are there, which are arranged around a single node, and therefore they look like a whorl. So that is called as whorled phyllotaxy, and it is usually seen in Alstonia plants. So mustard, China rose and sunflower plants exhibit alternate phyllotaxy. Guava plants and calotropis, they exhibit opposite phyllotaxy, and Alstonia exhibits whorled phyllotaxy. So this is about the arrangement of leaves, which is called as phyllotaxy. So now we know about the leaf, its structure, the types of leaves, the arrangement of leaves and all that. So we shall look into some of the MCQs under this particular topic. The leaf is attached to the stem by lamina. No, lamina is nothing but the entire green surface or part of the leaf is called as the lamina. So that's not the right answer. Leaf blade. Leaf blade is also same. Entire lamina is also called as leaf blade. Leaf base. Leaf base is actually the region or the base of the leaf, that is where the petiole is attached, that is called as the leaf base. It is, or the stipule. So stipule is actually below the leaf base. If this is the leaf base, small tiny leaf-like structures will arise there. That is called as the stipule. So this is a stipule. So that is also not the right answer. The right answer here is leaf base, because the leaf is attached to the stem at the leaf base. So this portion is called as the leaf base. So if this is the stem. So therefore option C is the right option here. The small leaf-like structure at the base of leaf is called petiole. Now petiole is the lengthy portion of the lengthy stem or stalk of the leaf that helps to hold the lamina. It's the stipule, because I told you wherever the leaf base is there, small leaf-like structures will arise, which is called as the stipule. So right option B, stipule. So bract and bracteole is also not the right answer here. Next, the swollen leaf base in legumes is called lamina. No, lamina is the entire portion of the leaf. Leaf blade is also the entire portion of the leaf. Pulvinous. Pulvinous is the right answer because I told you in the leaf base, somewhere where the petiole arises, there sometimes it will be swollen like this and then the leaf will form. So this is the pulvinous. The swollen leaf base is called as the pulvinous. The right answer is pulvinous. Or they can ask the question like this: pulvinous or swollen leaf base are found in dash. It is in legumes. Leguminous plants have pulvinous leaf base. It's not petiole because this is the petiole. Right answer is option C, that is pulvinous. Next one. The leaf is attached to the node by lamina, stipule, midrib, petiole. The leaf is attached to the node. So if this is the stem and stem has nodes and internodes. So this is the node. This is also node. These in between the nodes we have the internodes. Leaf arises from the nodal region, say for example here, and the leaf is attached to the node. This leaf is attached to the node by petiole. Therefore, the right answer here is option D, petiole. Petiole is the right answer. The green expanded part of leaf is called, it's called lamina. Petiole, it's not petiole, it's not pulvinous, it's not stipule. Why? We have seen in the previous questions itself. So the option here is option A, lamina. Reticulate venation is found in monocot leaf, dicot leaf, monocot stem, dicot stem. Venation is actually seen in leaves. It has nothing to do with the stem. So therefore, the option is limited here to monocot leaf and dicot leaf. I told you in monocot leaf, they have parallel venation wherein the veins are arranged in parallel to each other. In reticulate venation, actually in dicot leaf, they'll have a midrib and then they'll have veins and lots of veinlets like this, which will form a network. So therefore, it is in dicot that reticulate venation is seen. Therefore, the right option is option B. Now, if the question is parallel venation is found in, it is monocot leaf. So the option will be monocot leaf. Next question. Dash is a characteristic feature of monocot leaf. What is the question here? I have to find out which is a characteristic feature. So, reticulate venation, midrib, parallel venation, veins and veinlets. Reticulate venation, no, because it is found in dicot leaf. So, that's not the right answer. Midrib, they don't have a midrib. So, parallel venation, yes, and it's not veins and veinlets because veins and veinlets are seen in reticulate venation, which is seen in dicot leaf. Now, what was my question? Dash is a characteristic of monocot leaf. So, parallel venation is a characteristic of monocot leaf. Like leaves having an entire lamina are called simple leaves, compound leaves, pinnately compound, palmately compound. It is simple leaf because compound leaves actually have their lamina which reaches the midrib, therefore they form leaflets. So it's not a compound leaves is not at all the answer. Of course, the two type of compound leaves are pinnately compound and palmately compound, so that cannot be the answer. Leaves having an entire lamina are called simple leaves. Leaves having leaflets are called compound leaves. In that leaves having leaflets which arises from the tip of the petiole is called palmately compound leaves, and leaves having leaflets which reaches midrib forming small leaflets, it is the pinnately compound leaves. Next question. Ratches bearing leaflets are called dash leaves. So, which leaves have ratches? It is the compound leaves that have ratches. So, the right option here we have to select is the compound leaf. Leaves in which leaflets are attached to common point is called palmately compound because I told you there will be a common point in the petiole from which the leaves will be attached like this. So, therefore, it is palmately compound leaves. That is the right answer. The pattern of arrangement of leaves on the stem are called compound, taxonomy. Now, taxonomy is the classification of organism. Inflorescence is the arrangement of flowers in its floral axis. Not compound leaves, it is a type of leaf. The answer is phyllotaxy. The arrangement of leaves is called as phyllotaxy. Alstonia exhibits dash leaf arrangement, alternate simple opposite whorled. So world leaf is seen by Alstonia. So Alstonia, wherein from the node several petioles will arise and they will bearing the leaves which will form a whorl-like arrangement. So that example is Alstonia. So therefore Alstonia exhibits whorled leaf arrangement. Option D. So this was about the session wherein we learned about the leaf, its structure, the parts of the leaf, the types of leaves and all that, and how leaves are arranged on a stem. And we also learned some of the MCQs that can be framed under this particular topic. So I hope you understood the session well. We shall meet again in the coming session wherein we will study about the inflorescence and the flowers. So see you in the next session along with discussion of its MCQs. Thank you.